I'm blind.
I'm not gonna lie, Chris. That joke was good, but I did not understand it until Pat explained it. I was like, wait.
It was funny.
Yeah. So Stevie Wonder of choosing song. It caught me off guard. I had to think about that for a good 10 seconds.
Had layers.
Yeah.
It was all over the place.
It's kind of like back in the day when they used to say you lie like a rug. I didn't get that one. What was the other one?
Oh, you're soft as the day is long.
Yeah. I was like, what are you trying to say? Oh, no, you're dumb as the day is long.
Yeah, there you go. Dumb as the day is long.
And that just means you're dumb all day. Yeah. So, whoa. Boys, another Saturday night. I'm excited to be here. Already started the pregame here. Pat's getting into the whiskey. He ain't even waiting to get into that.
I just wanted to give a smell, and it's
We just wanted to crack it open so that we could all appreciate it.
Thanks
for passing that around.
It's what? What's it? How's it smell, Pat? Did you get the ingredients for us?
Yeah, it smells like whiskey.
Oh yeah, no. Ooh, that smells like a.
This is an Irish whiskey.
Yeah, this is
This is meant to hurt. I feel like all Irish whiskey is just meant to hurt.
What's his Connor's? It's Connor's. Oh, I know. Connor's
meant to hurt.
His whiskey is making him a shit ton of money, but I hear it's just maybe a step up from Jameson.
I thought it was like a step down.
Oh, I think it is. I think it's 100% the marketing of him. I mean, he throws it out on his Instagram, any social media he's got. It's constantly out there.
Well, talking about social media, we got the podcast at SMP. Had a couple funny videos up there. If you listen to episode 19, we had what is it, Chris?
I just saw the last video you.
How good was that? That was so good.
The John Dillerman one or no?
Oh no, the guy going off the ramp.
Oh, did you see the John Dillerman?
I almost choked on I did. Oh yeah.
That one was ridiculous. That cartoon
stupid.
and that
it's so weird.
You know what though? I'm not gonna lie to you. When Chris was explaining this, I did not imagine a clay emanation guy, and it was his penis, but it was like kind of like a rope that came out of his pants.
It literally looks like it came from the 80s. It looks like that was the same movie set as his old Mario and Luigi TV show. That's exactly what it looks like. And that's how they kind of get away with it, because it's not really like I honestly thinking they were showing off a penis.
They get away with it because you're in Europe. That's why.
Well, no, but also it's not really. It doesn't look like a penis.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that's kind of weird is that it's geared toward children, and you would
that's kind of weird.
You'd be like, I don't know if that really, even in Europe, I'd be like, I don't know if that really flies.
That's, but you can check it out at podcast.
Did you look at did you hit closed captioning to see the English, translation? Yeah.
No.
You do that.
Oh, yeah, better?
Yeah, it's hilarious, some of the things the words they translate into.
And then also, just to go back to the other clip of the guy driving off the on-ramp, or the highway for the Wisconsin, it's insane. But there was a clip, me and Chris watched, of him talking about, because of the actual guy, and he's just like, you can't. It's kind of a silly comment, but he's like, yeah, when you're in 2 feet of snow, you can't really control it, but it's like, you can probably control before you get to the 2 feet.
That's what it is to drive in snow. It's like the before part.
Yes,
it's like you don't go. Hey, I slammed on the brakes. It didn't stop. Yeah. You give yourself the room so that even if you do slide, you got.
And I feel bad even making a comment because thank God that guy's
all I thought about this week though.
Thank God that guy's
all
alive,
I thought about is if I drive off that, I could be in the express lanes. I could be gone.
100%. Well, and then there was one last Friday. We talked about that. Unfortunately, people died. They fell off the.
Man.
Yeah, it's insane. And then Lauren's coworker is I don't know if you guys heard this story, but there was a car that was carjacked in Albany Park. And it was in the left-hand turn lane, and then it got spooked and decided to go from the left-hand turn lane and took a right and hit the bicycle head-on.
This is a carjacked car?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's been all over the Tribune with the headlines.
I haven't really gotten into the Tribune this week.
My girlfriend's roommate got carjacked, but it was I think it was either the person who robbed her was in a rental or she had a rental at the moment. Oh, yeah. So it's like now she's dealing with all the
car insurance
rental car insurance.
Did she get full coverage?
She did.
That's good.
I think she also got a ticket.
Is this the same one who got mugged?
This was the mugging.
Oh,
it was, but they stole her car.
They stole everything.
Yeah, they're like we want your purse. We want the vehicle you're in. We want everything.
We want the scrunchie.
Absolutely tiny too. So it just
No, but so that Lauren's coworker unfortunately got hit by the car. Ended up in a induced coma. Has been in intensive care. Thank God, I think she's gonna live. They have like a GoFundMe on there.
Does anyone know what that means? Induced coma? Like I know they put them into a coma, but what is that? Does anybody know?
I
like,
think
are
it's
you
almost
just under heavy anesthesia
Yeah,
the
I think
whole
it's
time?
almost
I think it's meant to like lower your like.
It's not,
temperature,
kinda,
I know the
kinda
reason they
puts you
do
to sleep.
it, but I don't know what it is that they're
I think
doing.
it allows your body to recover. I think it's
Yes.
I think it's
I think they
anesthesia
put your body
basically.
into pretty much sleep, so then your body's not. It's just in recovery mode. It's almost like the induced coma is almost like you're just put to sleep.
It's kind of like what you do on a Sunday morning after a lot of drinking, but not really induced. It's just kind of later.
Dude, funny enough, I felt like I got a hangover yesterday because I had drank like 8 cups of tea, and I was thinking, I'm drinking water.
Oh no,
I'm drinking water,
no,
and it's
on the
tea.
water.
Throw a little bit of honey in, and by the end of the night, I was like, Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm hungover right now, and I just
dehydrated.
Yeah.
After those couple of cups of really strong tea last weekend, I had a headache when I got home.
If you don't have that much caffeine,
I was all jacked up by Mountain Dew after that.
Stuff in there, Joseph.
thank you, sir.
We were just clearing out the beers tonight. We decided not to add to the collection because we decided to clear out Pat's fridge.
I was legit thinking that I was like, should I bring something? And then I was doing as I put the bottle of mezcal that I bought at Costco today into my cupboard. She's like, you have so much liquor.
Yeah.
I go, we all do.
Oh yeah.
Like I was like, should I bring this? Should I not? And then I realized I didn't get the other mixed stuff. But it's
we'll
like we have
definitely do.
tons
Yeah,
of liquor.
Oh, Chris, we have a whole table at my house right now that we need to get a liquor cabinet.
I bought a ton of whiskey for my own birthday.
Yeah.
There's
That's
stuff
awesome.
over there. Yeah, there's
So
stuff. just
Joe's
sitting there.
drinking the Apex Predator. This comes actually from the Super Bowl from our buddy Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Saison. It's actually, I like this. What do you think, Joe?
Oh, I love it. I used to get this a lot at Lone Wolf.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Is this the one you?
Because they always had, not always. I would usually go with the Gumball Head, but they had Apex Predator. They had some kind of weird ones.
God, we have that bar. We went there last week. We went for ramen in Fulton Market and old or what's that? What's it again?
Damn, Joe, you got a hole in your chin?
I missed my mouth.
Lone
I'm so
Wolf
far
is
from the
close,
table
though.
now.
Well, Joe, it's a podcast tradition that you spill it, you can't drink here.
So far from the table, yet you're bringing the drink to your mouth.
What was he supposed to do?
He's so far
Suck
from the
on it.
table, so he's
Oh,
making
I'm
it sound like he's sipping from the
that makes
table.
sense.
Yeah.
No, I just mean it
We're
wouldn't.
not- you and me are not on the same page tonight.
I just meant it wouldn't have spread as far if I was
Remember-
closer.
remember-
I got some on the
Hey,
floor.
calm down.
I got some on the seat. I feel bad.
You
know that-
Oh, actually, I didn't get any.
From
Yeah.
your brain, Peter.
It's
It's like the Big Mike joke that we had earlier, where I said, "What was your college
Oh,
alma
yeah.
mater?" And it just kind of flew right over his head.
You got me twice already. You know you're getting everybody today. You're just a little too smart for us. All right? Maybe you just want to take a back step.
All right, quiet myself for another 8 minutes, so then I
Wait,
can
what do you
drop
think? Do we
some
met?
swearing.
Chris is.
Have we met the non-swearing? You think?
Oh no,
Yes.
we definitely
No,
messed
we
that
haven't
up.
sworn
I've
for
heard,
it.
like,
Really?
I get where you're coming from,
Well,
like the 15 minutes. I've also heard from, like,
It depends
other
what,
places,
it depends
like,
what swear words you're talking about.
4 minutes, like 5 minutes, like 9 minutes. Like the one guy you said had the 9-minute clock. I've also heard, like,
There have been no F-bombs to this point.
yeah.
I think we go safe. We go 15.
Yeah, for sure.
At some point, we got to work on getting on YouTube, boys.
Well, the
I-
first
well, here's-
episode that we get on YouTube, when I finally figure that out, I'm going to drop the biggest F-bomb right at the beginning. I'm not going to let anybody get in afterwards. I'm going to be like the guy who screams goal for like a minute. And I'm just going to be dropping the F-bomb for a whole entire minute.
And then YouTube says, "No, we don't want you on here anymore."
Exactly.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I don't want YouTube's business anyway.
Oh, that's true. Well, they don't want Trump's business. They don't want our business. All right.
They don't want
Not the
Trump
right
on-
group. My bad. Not the
They
right
don't-
group.
they
That
don't
was not
want-
the right
wait,
group.
no,
for
no,
this
no,
show.
no. They don't want, is Trump not allowed on YouTube?
Oh, they're looking at a Facebook.
He's like
video.
not allowed on anything.
Yeah.
I know he was banned on
He had
Twitter.
to go Abraham Lincoln and write a note to say how displeased he was
He's,
with Mitch McConnell.
he's an Etch-a-Sketch, guys.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He was
He's trying to buy MySpace to bring it back.
He's on Friendster, MySpace.
It's the only platform that will allow back.
There you go. He's
putting videos up on Napster. I mean, it's all good, guys.
back in the day. That's what they.
Good.
Or somebody bought. Well, we talked about this before. But MySpace got bought for $330 million.
Yeah.
After it was completely dead and gone.
Someone really wanted Tom to be their friend.
I don't know what it's used now. I think it's mainly just artists are on there.
Yes,
but
I think it's like a music thing.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like more focused towards
It's
music.
way to collaborate.
Yes,
We should put our podcast out on MySpace.
We could do that.
We're a type of music. Talk music.
We're on every major.
We're
There
that sweet, smooth
we're on-
sound.
We are not on MySpace.
There was some
People
sing-
cannot find us
Allow
on
me to
the
finish my
MySpace.
sentence. We are not on every
Allow me
major
to
platform,
finish
and MySpace does not qualify as a major platform.
The MySpace does qualify as a major platform.
Tom will like our music. So
Yeah.
Where do we stop? Throw it up on Zanga? Huh? You want to go there?
Come on,
Is that where we're going to go to?
What are we going to
I
get?
don't
One
know.
guy?
Where do we draw the
I
line?
thought Zynga was more of a blog.
Can we press
blog,
an LP, guys?
website. Am I wrong about that?
You could put, I mean, I don't think they're...
What about
I don't
LimeWire?
think-
Is that stuff like
LimeWire? How about LimeWire?
Is that stuff like relevant anymore? Does anybody do that
I
stuff?
do
Kazaa?
think it is.
LimeWire.
I don't think,
Napster.
Here's what
I
we
don't
should
think
do,
it's
guys.
websites like that anymore that are...
This is what we should do.
Wait, hold on. Finish it, Joe.
It's not like a thing where you download now. Everything's streaming, so you just find a website that's
Oh, I
playing
see.
it on like a
Okay.
flash player or something.
Got it.
So I think we should get 8-tracks, LPs, and cassettes, guys. And we distribute the podcast that way. Go guerrilla marketing style with it.
Hey,
That almost came out of my nose.
let's
You want-
hey.
I wanted to be like, okay, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Hey.
But then you went, let's go guerrilla marketing. It legitimately almost came out of my
Nailed
nose.
it.
We
Nailed
are
it.
gonna-
You
Nailed it. Nailed it.
we are gonna press this bitch on some vinyl.
Yep.
Throw it on record.
Hey, don't kid me with a good time. I love me some vinyl, boys.
No CDs, though. No CDs. It ruins your
Apparently, I
quality.
opened Pandora's chest when I said put it on the MySpace.
This is where we're going.
It's gonna go on the line.
It's gonna go on the line. On the line on the MySpace.
Boys. So how's our week going, boys? How's everybody doing? It feels like it's been at least a month.
I'll be honest, it flew by, but not because it was bad. Like it was just, I kind of coasted. I felt like,
This week, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
I had my review last week,
yeah?
and it went really well. And I was like, I'm doing way
Oh,
better
that's
than I
working
thought I
out.
was.
Yeah, I'm working
So I was
hard.
like, I'm just gonna coast a little bit. Yeah.
I'm working a little too hard here, guys. I've realized how well I'm doing. I could step it back a little bit.
Joe, you're doing pretty well. That means extra week off, guys.
I mean, well, let's go. Like just
Joe
review-
George Costanza, the meeting
No,
walks out. Thanks, guys. It's been great.
It was a relief of stress, like, and it wasn't as high strung as I thought it needed to be.
That's awesome.
So that helped.
I think after Tuesday, after another 14 inches of snow we got, me and Chris came home Monday night. We shoveled out the car.
Yep.
Shoveled it out like 6-7 inches. We went to the rental property, shoveled that out. Woke up and there was 7-8 inches again.
I tell you, you didn't go back to the red property after that, right?
No. But in the morning, I tried to I have 4-wheel drive, so I was like, all right, I'll just get out.
Oh yeah.
And I literally, I ended up perpendicular on the Chicago City side street because there was 7
you
inches.
were not alone.
It was insane. I've been blessed to get to the main street because if you didn't get to the main street, forget it. You were done. Like there was no way.
Yeah.
It makes you feel any better, Peter. CP has been on their own because I couldn't get out of my alley, so they're on their
Yeah,
own.
Pat legitimately, and then like
That's the big
yeah.
problem. I'm in an alley too.
Yeah, you can't get. Oh yeah, forget it.
I mean, thank God I'm really close. I
Yes.
actually am able to get out.
I'm
And
still
I have-
pulling into my
And I have
garage.
all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
The only thing my car has is it's a low car, so it's the clearance of the snow where it got to like fucking
Oh, it's
what
insane.
felt like.
Oh, Joe broke it at 13 minutes.
Ah.
No, I didn't. I was at the refrigerator and I dropped the F-bomb when
I don't
you
know-
asked
I don't
we
know if
went
I heard
back
that.
to Elmwood Park.
No, that's true. You did.
That should be a next podcast. Whoever breaks it first has to do a shot.
Yes,
Yeah,
I like it. Oh,
Smart
and
man.
okay, and then we're gonna.
Oh,
we're gonna
Lord, that's a
Can I
disadvantage.
say, as
Wait,
someone
Chris comes in with a
who-
ball gag next
who
week.
got to listen to last week's podcast as a listener
Yeah.
and not a participant. I love Mike's idea.
Oh, I was gonna just bring it up.
And second, Mike is even though Mike has grown up in the same level of education up until college.
Yep.
Right? Where did you go for college?
Northern.
He went to
went to
Grand
the-
Valley
yes,
State
yeah,
for
yeah.
2 years and then he went to Northern.
Okay.
Just give him all his info out.
And then DePaul
He lives at.
and then DePaul for law school.
Yes, he did. Yep.
That is such a well-spoken man.
I heard that about from 4 or 5 people.
I swear,
They're like,
it is
that
a
guy, that
difference.
gentleman cannot be on your podcast. These two.
It is. I thought about it so much as I was listening.
I
I
mean,
was
he is a lawyer, so that makes sense that he is.
Yeah,
eloquent-
I
mean,
eloquent
yes.
The other
speaker.
thing
does
is,
speak for a living.
it's your first podcast, and he was probably a little just held back maybe a little bit. Wanted to seem a little smarter, let the parents know he's a big guy on a podcast now.
He is very much like that kind of guy, though.
Yes.
Like, you say something to him, he does listen to it, he does think about it, and then he gives you a response.
Okay, so I'm going to be the secret word of the day Master. So if you guys hit it,
Master.
Master. So if you guys hit the word of the
Do
day.
we get a hint? Like Michael gave us a hint. He said it was a phrase that I used often last time. So you gotta give us a hint.
All right, give me. What are we at? We're at.
Is it what you call your mustache?
Mustache. I can use that word. We know how to use it. I will give it. Give me to 20 minutes, and then I'll let you guys.
Come on, you stupid bitch.
There you go. How do you feel, Chris?
So much better.
So much better. All right, so let's go back really quick to the weather because I did want to talk about what's happening in
I
Texas.
have a real question for Joe about the weather and his alley situation and everything. Are the tenants in your building, like, are they responsible for shoveling out their spots, or like how does that work?
There is a parking lot in the back, so they're responsible. But I do have to clear from the door to basically the alley in like a box because of all the trash can stuff.
I was just curious.
I've never shoveled in front of the door of the garage at CP, and I never will.
No, I'm not saying that. No, but Joe's still a little different. He has carports.
Although our lovely tenants have buried in that side gate.
And I wasn't sure if Joe's dad pay somebody to come and clear out the spots or whatnot.
I told him I was like, we need to buy a snowblower because then I can just push all this and then.
So our tenants.
I mean, it's crazy. Like the last 3-4 years, I haven't thought about it like that.
No,
because of this level of snow,
it's insane.
So we will all buy one this year, and we will not snow at all next year to use it.
Which is fine. I'm okay with that. I love when people say that. Yeah, I'm sorry you don't get to use it. I'm okay with that.
Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah, I felt bad. I couldn't get my dad's working this year, but it's a real good year to get it working.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like 15 years old, and it's a piece of junk at this point.
At least, I mean, you've had it for 15 years. That ain't bad.
Yeah.
But you were saying the weather. Sorry.
Yes. No, so just to go back, it was miserable, the snow here. But I can't imagine being in Texas right now with no power for 10 days. No,
Why do you say that?
No drinking. No. Well, you haven't had power?
No. I drove from Phoenix to Illinois. Like, I drove last weekend.
Okay.
I went to, where did we go? We went, like, to a restaurant. It was like more like a fast food joint. A bunch of people from Dallas were already there, so I was driving back Sunday, Monday. I had no idea, like, I hadn't checked any of the, like, the no news or really looked at my phone at all. And I heard all these people talking like, yeah, my flight got canceled. We have to drive back. We rented a car. I had no idea what was going on. I realized, I mean, there are, and it's not even like Texas. Like, people were talking about getting to Phoenix so that they could fly out and get somewhere. I mean, it was insane to hear some of those things.
So think about these guys. So I don't want to shit on Texas. But they've been walking with a big stick lately because they've got all these people moving there because of the tax situation, and they think they're this great state.
They got that BDE.
Yeah. No, let's. You got some issues here, baby. Your infrastructure, it ain't built for. And you got.
That was a good one, Joe. That was a good one.
You got to feel for these poor people who.
I love that you.
That's still good.
I love that you got a chuckle.
I like the fact that Ted Cruz was down in Cancun.
Oh,
and he left his fucking dog.
No, and then, he left his dog, and then he threw his kids under the bus. I'm gonna take my kids.
And he's also like anti-immigration too. So why does he go to Mexico for?
And then his neighbors, who probably fucking hate him, send out all the text messages, the big group text messages.
Chris, do you want this shit neat?
Yeah, I'll take it neat.
You are a crazy son of a bitch.
Who threw him under the bus and was like, nah, like this idiot was trying to get everybody to go down to Cancun with him. Like, fuck.
You know what my favorite thing is? You know what my favorite thing is?
But I'm sorry. One thing. What last? The only thing I would say to that though is all of these Democrats who are trying to put him on like he made a mistake. Optics look terrible. Man's rich. He's done whatever he's done. He can go wherever the hell he wants. I'm sorry that I get that he's in Texas and it's miserable.
Yeah. No, you make a great point.
It pisses me off that we're gonna cancel or not cancel him or get rid of him just because.
I think he's not running for election anyways.
So yeah, just people that made me mad. Like, okay, let's bust his balls, because he's an idiot, and he should have just been honest. But like, I was trying to get the fuck out of here. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Instead of throwing his kids under the bus.
I think there's something though, and you are 100% right. I really do agree with you on that. I think there's something though about the perception of
is that right, Joe? Is that how you say it?
Cilantro.
Cilantro.
There's something about like your leader basically ditching you, and not being there suffering with you. And I think that's what's got a lot of people pissed. It's like that, and the way they handled it previously. I don't know a lot about this, but I know I've been hearing about the Green Deal. Oh yeah,
they hate Ted Cruz.
They hate to, that's what I hate though. It's like everyone has become a cartoon character of themselves in politics in general. Like all you and I was listening to this podcast and I found it so interesting.
Alcohol.
He was a guy he was interviewing a reporter who worked for Huffington Post, New York Times, and a couple other like really big names. Now Huffington Post, and I don't know the political leanings of that, but
I think it's more left.
He asked. I know. I've heard it called, extreme or leaning a certain way. So I wasn't sure. I just didn't know which way. But he was saying, he goes, okay, like even if you don't this was like a year ago. So he goes, even if you don't agree with Trump, there are certain things like he does that are beneficial and do 100%. Work and you have
to.
He goes, how do you not?
Stuff,
So he goes, how do you not give him credit for that? Why is it always bad? And he goes, here's the issue. I can write that story. I'll go to my editor. I can write that story. But the day that story comes out, I'm getting looks from coworkers.
Yep.
I'm possibly getting less work. And then the story doesn't sell, so they don't want me anymore. And it's based solely on money at this point.
Yep.
And it's so sad to hear that.
100%.
It's like such a bummer.
No, it's terrible. Chris, and I want to capitalize on that when we get back into our talk about Tiger. But I totally cut you off and we just ran with it. Sorry. You had something you were talking about.
There was the meme that came out with Mayor Quimby where he was.
Oh yeah,
he's really in Jamaica where he's like, I've canceled my trip to Jamaica, and then they got the Rastafarian guy coming through on the drum.
It again, yeah. That was
hilarious.
Ooh, that shit sucks.
my God! Tell the world what garbage you brought.
First of all, this is a Christmas present for my
father.
Okay,
I'll be 100% honest.
Your dad must hate you.
I shouldn't say it sucks.
You haven't even tried it yet.
I shouldn't say it sucks, but it is not my cup of tea.
Since 1782, the Teeling family, which I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it,
they're doing something
have
right.
been crafting Irish whiskey. The Teelings are renowned for their vision in doing things differently, and their whiskey embodies the entrepreneurial spirit. This small batch consists of hand-selected casks, which are given a further 6 months maturation in ex-rum barrels, imparting an extra sweet and smooth flavor unique to Irish whiskey. By bottling at 40% with a no-chill filtration, completes an Irish whiskey of the true character. Teeling dare to be different, boys.
The goal of these people to claim any level of smoothness whatsoever. I felt like I was swallowing sandpaper.
So you gotta let this marinate a little bit. You gotta let it marinate.
God!
Chris McGraw, what you think?
Peter, do you have a rule?
Chris probably fucking loves it. It's everything.
Hey, everybody drink. The word is whiskey. Anytime I hear whiskey.
So I've already done whiskey. Said like 3 times.
There we go again.
Great call.
So if you hear whiskey on the podcast, we need you to be drinking.
Well, this affects.
It's a sip. It's not a shot.
We didn't even get a cold. We didn't even get a clue.
In relation to the game. In relation to the game. It's a sip of your
Pat was hitting it like it was going out of style.
It's a little smoky.
It definitely has an oaky taste.
To it.
It's definitely.
I get the sweetness. I do.
You guys want to hear it? Okay.
I do get the sweetness that was.
Yeah, I do get that too. 100%.
It's not my favorite thing to drink, but I mean, I wouldn't poo it like Joe did.
I'll be 100% honest. I'll drink it again. Yeah. I won't lie. But
I mean, I'm not having. I'm not having.
I like it more than Jameson.
It hit me so. That is one of the hardest strong.
It's more of a. You gotta really take a sip.
Hitting.
You don't hit that hot.
No.
That hits you in the back of the throat
it's
immediately.
Hot. No, you're right in the chest.
I mean, bourbons are not as hot as this, and this is like Irish whiskey are hotter in general.
Here's my thing. I've only had, when I think of Irish whiskey.
We got one more of these.
Drink.
I think, oh shit.
We got one more of these whiskeys in my thing too.
Drink.
You guys can kiss my ass. I ain't drinking every time Pat.
I think about Bushmills, which is not good. I think of. Well, I shouldn't say not good.
I don't care.
Oh, whiskey!
Get out of my face. This
whiskey,
is
whiskey.
Stop it, Christopher.
This is you're.
I'm done with mine, so I don't give a fuck.
Oh.
This is definitely.
And I don't have a bottle opener, so whiskey.
This is definitely a sipping whiskey.
Yeah,
or you mix it with something.
But here's the thing: this is also not.
Or you take paint off the wall.
This is not one that you're having right in the beginning of the night.
No.
I don't think I wanted the other night. That's for sure. Really fucking put you
Or
over.
in the middle. Or in the middle.
It's in that sweet spot.
Okay. Do you guys want to hear a funny story? So last night we went out for dinner, and we were gonna go. We were gonna go for sushi, and the sushi place was closed. Thank God we called because we would have been sitting outside in like 5-degree weather. I can't swear. Went outside.
This is your Snapchat that you
Yes.
Oh, I love this so much.
So we get in there, and it's a little bit loud. You get your mask on, so you can't really hear
Are you at a
people.
sushi restaurant?
No, we went to a Thai place instead.
Well, this is your first problem with what you're ordering this evening. I can tell you that already.
Well, okay, so we get in there, and they got a nice big drink menu, and there was a hot toddy, and I'm like, I love a hot toddy. We made some great hot toddies here. I'm like, and it was like a ginger.
It is
like,
definitely the temperature for a hot toddy.
Let me get a hot
100%.
toddy. Here's a hot sake for you.
God damn it, Chris!
So
Spoiler alert.
I asked the guy for a hot toddy, and he's like, a toddy, and I was like, I didn't want to be rude and ask him because he was, he was an Asian descent, so I didn't want to be rude. So I was like, yeah, and I said it again. I said really loud, can I get a hot toddy? And comes back with hot sake.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest cup, like the biggest thing of hot sake I've ever seen in my entire life.
You probably did it because he's like, oh, fuck this asshole. I'm gonna get his ass.
I saw this last night, and I'm like, and it comes in the biggest freaking like drum of anything. They give you little shot glasses, so it takes 10 years to get to, Pat.
You can just figure out the big
I'm
thing you
just
want.
literally going like this. And there's cucumbers, so I have like 7 cucumbers. They give me like a half a cucumbber. I threw all the cucumbers.
Cups to your nation.
And and then I give one to Lauren. Lauren's like, takes a sip of it. She's like, no.
Not for me. Not for me.
I'm like, yeah? You think I want this? Literally, I'm like, you can even ask her. Look, the faces I was giving. The guy came back, got by, and took. I'm like, ow!
It's like,
and he's like, good.
It's like the time we got a picture.
Arigato.
We got a picture of margaritas, and we're like, we can do this. Yeah. And halfway through, we're like, we don't like this.
Yeah, well, you guys were running. You were running up there.
It's a really hot margarita.
It was insanely hot.
I'm pretty sure you guys got a pitcher of water and poured some water in.
I laughed.
Tequila in there.
I laughed so hard last night at that Snapchat. I legit, because you could see the size, and it was so ornamental in design. Like it was a beautifully painted plate and like cup. Soup bowl, maybe. It was enormous. And
it was like, hey, we got any of that dog, like 10-year-old sake we can just give away? Because no one orders sake. But okay, so not only am I drinking the worst sake in my life, and it's hot, and it's got cucumbers in it, it is terrible.
Do you not like cucumbers?
I love cucumbers, but not in my sake, Pat. I don't know what I like in my sake, but it wasn't that.
He doesn't cucumbers.
But so we got sushi, and they had a
cucumber with sake in it.
No, they had this like peanut sauce. I was like, I love a good peanut sauce. So I take and I wiped down my sushi with a little peanut sauce.
Not peanut sauce.
No, it was wasabi of some sort.
Oh Jesus!
My freaking eyeballs popped out of my head.
I've heard that.
Did you cool it down with the hot sake?
I'm a dragon.
My eyes are coming out of my head. My nose was so clear I could smell what the cook was cooking last week. It was ridiculous. Oh, it was a night. It was a night. It was a night.
Some good wasabi, sir.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Only better when I washed it down with your sake.
My son says they're clear. They're clear today now.
I can really taste how great this sake is.
Oh. Chris, do you have the cards for number 12 and 13 to know what we're drinking?
No, Pierre can look it up on his on the Instagram.
On the gram?
I can definitely do that.
On the gram.
What was I going to say, though? So if you want to open those up, I'll grab and we'll take
I gotta finish the Teeling whiskey.
The hellfire.
I said whiskey, in case you didn't hear me.
We told Pierre to change the word. In case you didn't hear that.
Who gets to change the word? Isn't one of us going to change the word then?
Oh, yeah. When
does
that happen? So I'll pick a secret word now?
Yeah, so Joe, yours will take a place.
I abused the word whiskey.
Yours will take a place in 50 seconds.
And Pierre has about
And how long does this window last?
5 minutes.
Until we figure it out and somebody abuses your word.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, mine was quick, so we could all have
So,
fun.
okay, I'm going to try and pick something good here. Okay, I got 35 seconds.
The secret word is sake.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're not going to that story again.
Hot sake.
But, okay, so...
It's one and a half tiny, guys. It's one and a half
You got
tiny.
your word yet, Joe?
I got my word, and I'm gonna try and.
No, you gotta give us a hint, unlike Peter.
Oh,
Hit
okay.
it quick. What do we got here, bud?
You were 2
12 and
minutes over
13.
your own 5-minute time limit.
12 and 13.
Well, I don't know if we got 12 here, Chris. Oh, no, we need to do 12. All right, so when you're ready for 12, let me know, and I'll read it off to you. And again, you can check all these flavors on our at Podcast SMP. And then Twitter, we're throwing stuff out all the time, so hit us up. And Pat Lynch would love an email at the SMPpodcast@gmail.com.
Think of it like a love letter.
Yeah.
I want you to really think it
Just
out.
let him know how much he sucks.
And then type
Maybe
it like
people
you
love me, Chris.
would a love
No.
letter, full of emotion, whatever that emotion may be. Doesn't have to be love. Could be
And
whatever,
Pat really wouldn't want any dick pics.
whatever way you want to express yourself. Send it in.
All right, so
So
while
what's the
we're
hit
waiting,
on the
I can
secret word?
smell the smoky of this thing. by the
for
way.
12, so 12 is going to be
Oh, good God.
Port
Holy
Asking.
shit.
ASKAIG. It's a single malt skull whiskey.
You gotta finish the first one, there, Chief?
Listen, I take my time.
Hey,
You guys like to-
Listen, you can't blame a man.
Yeah.
That
It's Chris. I'm going to
It's
tell you.
been rough.
It's literally going to be a heavily smoked.
Yeah, it's very. You can smell
We
the
got a
fucking
lemon
stuff.
Yeah,
zest.
put the little
you
thing
know
on
what I
this
love.
Little bit of licorice.
You know what I
caramel, salty, floral, and cake. I don't
You
know
know
what
what-
kind of cake.
I
it is.
want to know what
Okay.
cake.
Okay.
I want to know what cake is supposed to be on these damn
I think
fucking
Pat
cards.
started that, and I like that. But go ahead, Joe.
So you know what I love is Pat being the gentleman. No, hold on. I don't want to do that yet. Pat. Oh, it smells like paint thinner. Jesus, it lingers. Good God.
Wafting.
Oh my
No,
God.
this one's not so bad once the water dilutes it a little bit.
Once it becomes
Give half a cup
once it
of
becomes
water.
half water, once half water, half whiskey is not so
I
bad.
like it.
This fucking smells like tequila. Oh my God.
You know what I love is that
Dun,
is
dun,
that
dun, 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 dun.
what Pat does, and usually Pat pours, and he very kindly, when he does this out, he'll give us each a tiny bit, and he'll give Chris the most because these are Chris's flavors,
Yeah,
correct?
yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah.
This is one where I'm very happy.
This one I'm not. This one where I'm not. I smelled it twice, and it smells like tequila.
I can smell the
Oh,
smoke.
I can smell it too. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
hey,
what's
remember
the-
when we went for? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Joe.
No, go ahead. No, it was a very
No,
tangent.
just remember when we went for the whiskey tasting at that one bar? We had one that smelled just like
Yeah,
this.
you know they closed that bar?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
That's
a
such
lot
a
of
Is it
thing.
them.
called Fountainhead?
Oh,
or something
yeah,
like that?
across
from-
Oh, it's closed?
Found that on Damon and...
I was thinking the one
Bummer.
across from. In
Like permanently?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully somebody will pick
Chris,
it up.
is
yeah.
the secret word Tig Old Biddies?
No, my
Okay.
goodness, that's so specific.
I was just gonna say.
What's secluded is it?
Okay, so I did change it because I was thinking I only have 5 minutes. So
Oh,
I
it's
gotta
only
keep
scotch?
it. I gotta
And
keep
there's
it
3
relevant.
minutes. I got 2 minutes in that 5 minutes. So
It. Oh shit! Somebody said it. I wasn't paying attention.
oh god,
Oh, Chris,
we're all gonna die on this one.
If Chris don't like it.
Chris just wins.
Dad, I know. I'm getting
So
scared.
the
I'm gonna
Port
do it.
Eskin. No, nice. No. We're not. I'm sorry. We're not putting you on the list.
Don't worry, you're just coming, Peter.
No.
You're just coming, baby.
No.
Don't you
Do
worry.
you want it? Do you want to know what this?
TB 14 on that one. You got
You want to know what this reminds me of?
God, that just even.
I'm
your
not even
breath
joking.
It's just hot.
This.
All tasting is like burnt like tobacco. It's like
Okay,
fucking
that
somebody's like threw a cigarette in a beer can and you accidentally pick up that beer can, swing, and you're getting all tobacco.
Okay, this. I actually really
Oh,
like this.
God.
What?
For
You like this?
specifically,
It's not enjoyable at all. Oh my god. Oh.
specifically, what do they call that? Like, okay, this legitimately
Tastes like
tastes.
Ate a cigarette.
This is what this tastes like. So when you
Joe, keep that. That's all
when you
put.
go, I'll give you a little bit. I will give you a
Okay,
little
let's not
bit, but
do
I
that.
will finish that. I will. I don't mind. You want to know why? Because this smells as a product of Scotland. I feel like
Fuck
it is
Scotland.
what it
This
is.
is fucking terrible. It's fucking kilt wearing bastards.
When you go to Ireland, where our parents are from,
Oh god.
they don't have. This is gonna sound so bad. They don't. I don't know.
They
that
don't have Coors Light?
No. Well, yes. No, they might.
Oh, fuck me.
They don't have
I'm
like.
gonna taste it all goddamn
All
night.
right, let Joe finish. Jesus. I feel
My
like this
parents
has
live
gone on for like
in
10
the
minutes.
boonies off
Okay.
the shore.
I like it.
So,
Galway.
yep, way out, yeah, outside of Galway, and close, and they burn their trash, and And this is exactly what that smells like or tastes like.
Oh,
it's the burnt trash
All right,
smell.
what's number 13?
Which
Does
is
that bring you back to the homeland?
It kind of does.
Okay, I like it.
And it's just burnt trash.
So you like
It's
to
just
taste the
shit.
burnt trash?
I only like
Whenever we
it.
have
I
that.
don't.
Because that is literally
13,
trash.
sir.
It's
Lucky
kind
number
of
13.
Yes, it's kind of
Oh, it's
like
few.
it's kind of like, you know,
13's yeah,
a
we're going
smell
with
as a
few.
little kid that you remember. You're like, it may not be pleasant, but like, you know, smelling somebody you knew smoked and you smell a cigarette. You think of those memories.
Few is
Kinda
out
like
of
that.
Chicago.
Joe, I was a cigarette smoker back in the day, and that is fucking hot garbage.
I'm not
Chris,
saying.
when I start smoking,
I'm
that's
not
what it tastes
saying
like.
I'm connecting this to cigarettes. I'm saying
No,
I'm
it's good, I
connected
get
to
it.
a
Joe,
smell.
I feel like I
It's
just.
well, yeah, you know, we all different smells. Like that's
It's
No,
a
I
just
know, I'm just
smells,
gonna go-
tasting.
I'm just
Alright,
gonna
That's
go.
why I
let's
do
go on
like
to
it.
the next one.
Don
Sorry,
Pedro, Don
this
Pedro,
is-
are you ready
this
for the
is
next?
definitely-
For these two you got going.
Yeah,
Feels
yeah,
like I
yeah,
just
yeah.
made out with the cigarette smoker.
Okay, great. So
La, 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 la,
number
la.
13 is
I've done
few.
that once.
Made out of
Oh god.
Is the coffee few?
Hey, we're having a conversation
yeah,
between
we're on a
ourselves.
podcast, and you two jackasses can't stop talking about that shitty scotch. All
Well,
right?
yeah,
we're
we're
Joe's talking about burnt
Hi!
I'm sorry that we're not milking the goddamn first one, asshole.
We're both commiserating the fact that we have made out with smokers, which is reminiscent of this.
I mean, I know what Chris
It
wants.
is
We're not talking
very
about that kind of
different.
I don't think I've ever made out with a person who smokes. Actually,
Well, nobody cares.
Wait,
Go on
can
to
we
your next thing.
No, now I'm interested. I didn't know we were talking about that. Chris McGraw making out with women. When is this?
Yeah, I
happening?
know it's few and far between.
Ooh. All right, so now Few is a distillery out of Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, nice.
And we've had Few. We had the cold press. This is just a regular single malt. It should have a little crisp. It should be spicy. Mostly should taste dark chocolate. It's got a little bit of toasted cherry bread, malt berry, and a little bit of smoky.
I get the
cake,
toast.
baby.
I get the toasted.
And cake.
I get the
Okay.
little bit of the dark chocolate and the bread.
Can I ask something
Absolutely, Joe.
in relation to whiskey here?
Anything you want to ask, Joe?
So I thought it was interesting. That says product of Scotland, product of USA. Where's Flaviar based?
Here.
The
US.
company?
They're US, yeah.
In the US?
Yes.
I didn't know if
I
it was a
don't know.
local company, maybe.
No, I don't think it's local.
I don't think it's Illinois, but
I don't think it's. No, I don't think. I think it's a U.S. company, but I don't think it's based
no, they're both
here.
Peters. You're right. It's both Peters.
Chocolate wasted tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna make taxes real fun tomorrow.
Fuck Texas.
All right. While Chris is looking that up for Flaviar, let's get into the second part of the Tiger Woods documentary.
Tiger Woods. I'm Tiger Woods.
No, you ain't.
I thought yesterday's was good.
Actually, they have two locations. They have one in the UK, which is in London, and they have one here in the United States, which is in New York.
Yeah, Estados
Okay.
Unidos.
But I'm assuming it's a U.S. company.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Tiger Woods. But I want to go into what Joe was saying with the media. I think the biggest issue there is how the media portrayed it all. And I think, yes, it was a piece of shit.
Like in the documentary? Are you saying in
Well,
the
no,
documentary
just
or the
out
way
there,
media,
like,
like at that time?
Why he got the bus ran over him?
I had one.
I think it was a media thing. I think that one guy said it right, even though his buddy was kind of a dick. I think he said it right. Tiger should have came out and said, "Hey, this is between me and my wife. I fucked up. I shouldn't have been that."
I have one question about the documentary Does anybody know? Is this a Tiger? This is not
Tiger
a
Woods.
Tiger Woods sponsor.
No,
right?
this was
No,
not.
no,
This
no,
was
no.
not like. This was not like the Last Dance.
So-
this was like.
And-
I don't know what they call it. It's not unofficial.
But that's but
Unauthorized?
One thing I thought
Unauthorized,
about the whole time watching it was that I think I would have rather seen a Last Dance style documentary where Tiger is walking you through these events in his life. I think that would have been a much more interesting thing just to see how he would have reflected on
I
it.
still don't.
He's
I
still got
I'm-
a chance.
I don't think he'll. I
don't think he will
maybe
ever.
not
Yeah.
now, but I don't think at this stage he's gonna.
And I think the biggest problem I had with it is like, you know, and this happens with a lot of athletes, is they put these people as like heroes and they're role models. I mean, they're just guys that are really good at sports. And
Yeah,
they're normal people. Like Jordan cheated on his wife too. Like Jordan, I'm sure Jordan slayed just as much fucking ass as he did, and he just didn't get caught.
Well, that's like Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley came out and was like to people. He came out in this very controversial interview back in the '90s where he's like, "I'm no role model." And people are like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Listen, I'm just a guy who plays basketball,
And I gamble.
And I'm not somebody that a kid should look up to.
Yeah. And
I'm not the right person."
I also think that I had a real problem with like.
So the only problem with that, though, Chris, is for Tiger Woods, he tried to play that role. So I get that. Why?
No, but I mean, like what Pat was
Did
bringing
he-
up is like
did he-
Pat was bringing up the fact that like these guys are sports players. They're really good at what they do, and they're not people that should be role models or anything. I get that Tiger Woods was trying to play that, but
was he forced into that though?
Yes,
I mean,
and also one thing I think about Tiger, like what he did, it's not like in the grand scheme of things, like it ain't that bad.
All right, there's a great Bill Burr.
He's just
a human being.
He's just a not faithful guy. We all probably know a lot of guys that are just like him.
Here's my thing though, and this is where I kind of diverge from that. Bill Burr had a great bit, but it really was the truth.
Yes.
He just talks about, or Bill Burr.
Okay. I was thinking the one in the documentary was tough.
He talks about once you get to this level of fame, I'm not the only one that missed my mouth, but you're close to the table, so it's only on the shirt. He talked about, and this is a real thing in Hollywood, which is why I think relationships don't last. They get, like, once you get into that, like, spotlight, you're huge, right? Everybody's throwing themselves at you. Now you're the best of the best. I mean, it is just like, you get people and women, if that's your thing, whatever you want, drugs, whatever your vice is, it gets thrown to you like, hey, I'll just give this to you so I can say I gave it to you. Yeah. Which is like, I don't know. I mean, that is such a strong will to be able to say no to that and hold the line for so long.
Also, when you watch
not
this,
saying what he did was not wrong.
I mean,
I'm just saying they're in a different level.
I'm just saying that I'd say sort of two things on that. Like, one, I don't think that like he didn't beat anybody up. He didn't kill anybody. Like he was self-destructive a little bit with his. When he had painkillers, his back is all fucked up. Yeah. But like he didn't do any. I mean, he was cheating on his wife, which is not good. But it's not like it's not the worst thing in the world. Let's just be honest about it. He didn't like kill anybody. He didn't do anything that. He didn't beat his children.
But it sells.
Yeah,
and
I know. It sells, for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They vindicated him for it.
So and then also this documentary kind of pissed me off because it's like we're just drudging up the past. Here's the one. There's a couple of things I took away from it. One is we're not talking about the women. First of all, his wife. She didn't ask for any of that, and I don't feel like there was enough about her. I don't think there was enough about like, hey, she really got drugged through, and like people are chasing her and like all that.
Yeah, exactly. How shitty was it? Where you're just watching that and the freaking people are like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. You still with Tiger? Like, and like even the poor and the poor lady that was cheating, and she's like, how do you feel about being a home run? It's like
also she could get an STD. So that's it. Like the women, like the women were just having a good time. Yes, but it's just they are the ones who got honestly because Tiger fucked up and he deserved what he got. He had to take that.
But he knew
at some level he had to pay a responsibility.
Yes, yeah. Also, those poor women, and they're chasing them down.
They got catapulted into a level of just eye watching on you that they have never experienced before.
Also, you look at like Tiger's thing, like he I don't think his wife, like the Bill Burr thing they put in there, I don't think his wife really qualified for that because I don't think she married him for the money.
No,
I think she married because she liked him and just went off the rails.
So and like it's really easy to throw that Bill Burr clip in there and make him look like shit when that's just a joke.
Yeah.
But
I think one of the biggest things I took away from that thing was when you watch Tiger, he was from his dad, from all the way through his life, he is so focused on like, and they said in the documentary just a little bit, like that he's so focused on golf. And it's always focused on about sports and being an athlete. Like he never developed socially. Yeah. So like he's basically a 30-year-old who's got anything he wants. Yep. That he's in probably the mentality of personal-wise of like 18. Yeah. And what do you do at 18? You're trying to get as much things as you can.
You learned that he had to learn to become a human being at 40, like you said in the thing.
The other thing is. And I think if athletes are watching this, you need to be Derek Jeter. You can't come off with you like being this choir boy if you want to be something else. You can't like.
You can't
just be the Derek Jeter.
I think he was trying to play. I think he was trying to please his dad a lot too.
Yes.
Listen, play a version.
It's easy to say like hindsight for sure. We're all looking at this hindsight, but in my head I'm thinking like as if I'm an athlete, come 18, 20 years old. You need to watch this and say, okay, hey, listen, I can't come out with this reputation that I'm like Tebow, like some Christian good boy.
Oh yeah.
If I don't want to be that.
Bert Kreischer made a great bit of this on his podcast recently. Mm-hmm. Like he's talking about these guys that are getting canceled or people that are getting in trouble, and it's like you portrayed yourself as an individual in a certain way.
Yeah.
He goes, There's one thing. Listen, he goes, I probably have a drinking problem or something of that line. But he goes, people know that. I don't hide it. You know who I am.
Yep.
And the people that like me for it. The people who hate me for it at least respect me for letting him know that's who I am.
Exactly.
And when I looked at Tiger Woods, I always, when I remember going through, I didn't care about that any of that shit was wife. I care that he was a great golfer, and that's what I thought about. Like, he's a great golfer. If he's banging.
Okay, so then that brings up a point, and this is going to get a little racial, and I'm going to try to keep it as little bit as possible.
No, if he was a white guy, it would have been truly different for sure.
I
think he would have, yeah.
I'm not. I feel like, so maybe it's just because I look at Tiger as I don't look at it as he's a great black athlete. I look at him as a golfer. I just look at him as one of the best golfers. I love watching him. I get that the media, but I sometimes feel like, do people, like when you're looking at him as a cheater, you're like, oh, that black guy, he's cheated on his wife. Like when they were trying to
some people do, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like it totally became racial. I kind of feel like that's. I think then I'm not saying that there's not racists in the world, but I feel like people just. I don't know. For me, I can't. They were trying to bring it so much. I felt like to a racial tone.
They did, yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe just for me, it doesn't. I just look at Tiger as a great golf player, and he fucked up, with his wife. I didn't see it as
that's his life, though. It's his choice.
But I didn't see it being as racial. But I get it. I
think he's screwed. I think he gets. If he was a white guy, I guarantee the scrutiny would not have been severe.
Oh, I think so.
Is that because of the media, or is that because?
Yes,
because
the media for sure.
Sells.
Because they said.
But and I get the idiot at Augusta who that.
Oh, that fucking guy was a piece of shit.
Him. Because your club's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
they're
totally women golf. I don't believe there.
But I felt like the documentary tried to make it seem like everybody's
chastising Tiger Woods. Like, that motherfucker, you have all these people here because of Tiger Woods.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I felt like the documentary tried to make it seem like he got it worse because he was black, and I feel like
also these assholes owe Tiger Woods the amount of money he brought to fucking golf. They should all be kissing his fucking feet when he walks on the golf course.
They talk about that with Lance Armstrong. Because he got caught with steroids. Yeah. There's several layers to it. He got caught with steroids. Top 30 or 50 players, something also caught with Armstrong, not testing. And then he made all this money for cancer awareness. It's no, now you ditch him and he made all this money for you. So that's what they do. They take people, use them till they're good.
There's a Lance Armstrong ESPN 30 for 30 that if you want to talk more about Lance Armstrong, we go through that a little bit. But he's also interesting that the fact that he kind of he forced the governing bodies hand, and he basically strong-armed them a lot, and he owned their ass too.
Well, that thing. But then he also Tiger tried to work with the magazines, and he would do stuff to make sure that he didn't get. Well, we don't know.
At least the one, the first time.
Yes, but we don't know how bad he tried to go at them. But with Lance Armstrong, if you had something against him, he buried you. And that's why people hate Lance Armstrong.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
And he denied it so much for so long.
100%. But he also buried people's careers who were like, "Hey, this guy's kind of not the greatest person." So that's why I think a lot more people hate him.
Yeah, you're right.
A little bit of that. Yeah. So everybody tries to say, "Oh, he did all these things for cancer." Yes, but he was also a very bad person to a lot of people. Yeah. And now that he's grown up and he's seen it and he's apologized, yes, we can let's grow from it and let's be better people. But when he was going through it and he was on top of the world, he didn't want that to end. Yeah. And he would do anything for that to not end. And he was just being an awful person. But yeah, and Chris brought up something really nice. You know what? I think the documentary flew past too much. And I think they could have, I hope Tiger at some point wants to do a real documentary about himself. But that Masters thing, when me and Chris, and Pat watched it in the basement and just loved it. And they're just, everybody stopped. We were cheering for Tiger. And I get that, everybody was cheering for Tiger.
Yeah,
and that one guy, like Chris said, that, was all these people who left Tiger and were, on it. And then
we were cheering for him. Yeah. And they were the people that were the first ones to be cheering for his fall. And it's you guys can't you can't infer that these people that are out there cheering for Tiger are the people that were rooting for him to fall at the beginning.
The sports media guys.
This was the commentator saying
this was his family friend, the black guy.
And I totally
older black gentleman.
Oh,
yes.
I see what you.
I totally agree that there are people out there that see people in a good spot and they want them to fall.
They're favorite fans.
I'm not gonna lie.
For the good.
When I see Conor McGregor out there, and he loses or he's doing something stupid, I get a chuckle out of it because I know how good he is. But I like to see him fail just to be a jackass sometimes.
Yep.
That's not gonna motivate him. I think you'll see if he comes back.
Oh no. I mean, like in Tiger's case, I feel like I feel like just bringing that out there and being like, yeah, everybody just loves to see you guys are out there cheering for him now, and now you were the ones that were out there hoping that he failed back in 2010 when he was the best. It's like,
it almost brought me a tear to my eye when we're going through that, because I remember that's such a great moment for me with my uncle, with my two brothers, with Pat, with Gavin, sitting in that.
Well, yeah, we literally stopped. We literally stopped doing dances.
I also like. I want to pivot two things like on that. The first thing is that the one thing I liked about the documentary was sort of. They showed him he fucking hit rock bottom. Like he hit that DUI
a lot more because he hit some real.
I mean I'm saying he hit person wise. He hit rock bottom when he got that DUI. I think like it was as low as he's fucking gonna get, and like to see how he clawed back. And what I really like to see is like when you watch him now. I think when he was younger, he was so focused on like what his dad was drilling into him so much that he like, and they talked about it a little bit, like when he would win a tournament, he would just move on to the next one. Like, he never enjoyed it. I think you watch him play now and he's enjoying it. Like you saw him win that Masters and he enjoyed it. You saw, I think it was a couple months ago, he was playing with his son, like at some pro-am thing. And like, and you can tell it. He seems like he's enjoying golf more now. And I mean, I don't know. I don't think he'll ever catch Jack Nicholson. If he does, I mean, that'd be a fucking amazing story. If he wins 3 more majors at 45 years old to tie him, or 4 to catch him and beat him, like that would be probably the greatest end to a golf career that you could ever imagine. Like if he can somehow do that with how fucked up his back is.
Oh yeah, there's no chance.
So that's interesting. I mean, we talked about Tiger Woods, Jack Nicholson, Michael Jordan. I mean, these are like the top of the top. And they're in the stratosphere that none of us will ever attain.
This is kind of a good conversation that I heard on The King and Sting. And they're talking about the greatest athlete ever, because they're talking about Tom Brady as being one of the greatest athletes of all sports ever. Mm-hmm. And the woke thing to say is Serena Williams, which she's the greatest women's tennis.
Here's my thing about Serena Williams. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like so she just lost. She just lost.
Again, yeah, but she's also like 40.
She just lost. Yeah, but she was. I mean, she's still amazing. She just messed up. She messed up. She got a couple of errors on her side, and she messed up, and she owned up to them. But I hate, and then before that, she lost to a really young girl. I can't remember her name.
Osaka. She lost her like 3 times now.
Yeah. It's the same lady.
She's lost. She's beaten her a few times, yeah. I know this because Dave Collis is not a big fan of Serena Williams. Every time she loses.
She's the up-and-comer, so she's ready to go.
Here's my thing that bugged me about
Serena Williams.
I think about, it's like the thing in all of these top people.
Yep.
She was like, when Osaka won, or is it Osaka?
Yes.
When Osaka won,
like last night, right? Like when she beat her last night.
It's the same girl.
She beat her last night. She beat her
remember when she beat her the first time. Yeah. It was a huge thing. Like she got no.
She didn't shake her hand.
She didn't shake her hand. Like she was upset. Like she ended up crying and she took her award because
that's me.
She was so mistreated, and I feel so bad for that. And I'm like, I don't know. And here's the problem. It's a double-edged sword in that. As someone who's this great, you expect him to be great in everything.
Yeah.
And it's so hard, man.
But I just want to run around the table real quick. What do you guys think your top athlete? Like you would say right now, you would try to defend.
Are you talking about all sports?
All
all
Tom
time.
Brady. They think Tom Brady's the best.
I think you need to separate this a little bit because I think that certain
this is
sports.
Something I wanted to ask.
Because certain sports, like football, is a team sport. Like Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback in my opinion of all time, but he's not going to the Super Bowl without at least competent defense or good defense.
But he's been so good.
And he's the best.
So here's the thing, there's a physical aspect. But this is related to Tampa Bay. There's the physical aspect of being able to perform at the level, and maybe you're not performing at the best, but you're stronger in other areas. So Tom Brady, they've talked about his mentality really They talked about his speech before the Super Bowl that brought him up to a level.
My point is, I think you need to separate individual sports and team sports.
Well, no, but you got to look at it. You got to do a whole thing.
I feel like
because you got to look at how many of the best athletes go towards. So one thing that they argue against Serena Williams is how many actual people go to tennis, where tennis is like a very kind of an expensive
It's a single
sport.
individual.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Oh.
And how many of the best athletes go towards that?
Mm-hmm.
Where like soccer is worldwide. You have all the best. You have to compete against all the best athletes. All the best kids are going towards that.
When I think
hockey, hockey's tough because you don't have a lot of African American.
Everything.
I think the most dominant. It's almost. I think the most dominant and that's where I think the best athlete, the best athlete for me, and I
the
think
most
Wayne Gretzky,
well-rounded.
I think Wayne Gretzky
because
that's his records. It takes 3 or 4 people combined to get to him. Well, that's how good he is.
To go off your thing, I think there's a couple people that you could throw in this there. Gretzky be one of them for sure. I think that
Michael Jordan. I think you look at finals.
I think you look at Tiger in the sense that he revolutionized how people play golf, and the guys now.
The problem is golf is an expensive sport. So
but if you watch now how he brought a whole new generation into playing golf. Yep. And all these young guys that are out there are all idolize Tiger. But for me, it's Jordan because basketball was already a very big game. Yep. All the best athletes. A lot of the best athletes navigate to that thing, and he is so dominant. His will to win and his domination of
Chris, I'm interested to hear what you got on this, bud.
I actually went to hockey on this because I think hockey you can have. There's certain aspects of hockey where it's a team sport, and then there's also.
Well, I think basketball's that way too. I would argue.
And I thought about Wayne Gretzky, and then that's where I was going to go with it, and then I literally sat here while you guys were talking and thought about it, and I'm going to go a goaltender, Dominic Hasek. Watch his stuff back in the day. There's a reason why they called him the Dominator. Go to the 1999 season where he literally carried the Buffalo Sabres by himself in the playoffs and in the regular season and got them to the Stanley Cup Finals.
It was just one time.
No, he's a beast. He's done a lot of times.
He may not have the records like Gretzky does.
Yep.
But
because you don't get stats wise goalie, you just don't get stats.
But he may literally be one of the best
he's the best
goalie of all time.
For sure. No question about that. I would Patrick Waugh maybe close.
So I approach this so differently.
Okay, we'll give it. That's what
I feel like you guys are picking the best in a sport that's also I don't know. I was thinking Bo Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Bo Jackson's not bad.
A multi-sport.
I would say he's the best athlete. One of the best athletes.
That's kind of how I thought about it.
Physical athletes, yes, for sure.
He played 2 sports.
Yeah. Which is unheard of. And then he broke all these I think he broke all these sprinting records.
Yes.
Too not at I mean he was just him.
I thought it was a really good discussion. I think Tom is.
I think Tom's the best quarterback of all time. Yeah. No question.
I think
you can argue that.
NFL or football, American football player ever. I think you have to look at soccer players as one of the most dominant athletes.
The problem with soccer is I just don't know.
Ronaldo is one of the most fittest. I mean, he's been Cristiano Ronaldo, Ronaldinho.
You're never going to beat.
What about Pele? Pele is his big
Pele. The guy who's in now, I can't remember. He used to be on Real Madrid.
That shit.
I'll take it. Give it to me.
The problem with soccer is I don't follow enough to know the great ones.
That's it, so.
Which is not taking away from anything they do, but I just don't know what.
Okay, so
that brings up something that I was thinking about is so you don't know a sport, but you hear about them.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of times, sometimes you hear about people who aren't on the winning team. Like J.J. Watt now, for instance, has been in the media since he's basically been in the NFL. Never been part of a Super Bowl team. Phenomenal player, but on a losing team, basically.
Happens to a lot of guys.
Yeah, which is interesting. Marino. It's Dan Marino.
And the man.
One of the best quarterbacks of all time, but never got the playoffs. Because
that's the playoffs, but
people are talking about Aaron Rodgers right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, he's got a Super Bowl, though.
He has a Super Bowl, but he's taken them there how many times? There was a
stat like Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, They had like 3 or 4 other really good quarterbacks. They all have combined less rings than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to finish off because I tweeted this out. Wednesday was Good Friday or Ash Wednesday, and not that we're an overly religious group here, but I do think that. So last year, me and Chris gave up chips, pop, candy kind of stuff, and that started us on a path to really kind of cleaning up our kind of diet and being a better person. And I think this is a great time for just kind of reflecting on what kind of shitty habits you have. If it's eating too much or, working too hard or just trying to figure out something that's, it could kind of help you. And if you force yourself to do 40 days, if you do something for a month, it becomes a habit.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is, I'm trying to stop swearing. Like, I feel like every other word is all I can express myself is with swearing. So I'm doing my best to kind of cut that out. And then Chris brought up a good point. We eat, like, I have Jolly Ranchers, I have breath mints. I love hard candies, and that's not great for your teeth. So, me and Chris are taking that off. And that's a tough one. It really is. The swearing's impossible. The hard candy makes me so sad when I get in the car. And I know there's a Jolly Rancher 2 feet away from me. Chris, what are you thinking? What are you giving up?
I gave up the hard candies.
Yep.
Just because I think that I was abusing it a little too much. And then I've also given up soda pop. I stopped drinking soda pop for a long time, and I started drinking a little bit more. So I'm just trying to kind of stop drinking the soda pop.
Can I make a very quick sidestep?
Yeah, go bring it in. Bring it in, baby boy.
I'm also giving up Coors Light.
Except for those 2 right?
See, everybody got that. That was a joke.
Chris is an hour and he's still hitting with those hard punching jokes. Those are great. Playing to the crowd.
Yeah,
playing to the crowd.
I like it.
That's where it counts. I was gonna ask. He said soda pop. You always hear about this, like the division. Do you say soda? Do you say pop? So in the South, they say
I think
Coke.
about it all the time. I don't know. I don't have like a go-to. Like, I'll say soda. I'll say, hey, I'm gonna get a pop.
I usually say pop most times.
Pop. I think when I was growing up, I said pop. Now I say soda more.
I think you're right. I think growing up, it was definitely pop.
Yeah.
Like, we drank so much pop.
I combine the words.
No, you're right. I think it is pop.
Yeah.
What is supposed to be the Midwest?
Midwest is more pop, yeah.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
More pop.
We're in the middle. We're you somewhere.
Joe, you giving up anything for 40 days?
So yeah, I actually. So it's kind of twofold because my girlfriend. I mean, I was raised Catholic. I was an altar boy.
Yeah.
I legitimately thought about the priesthood when I was younger. Yeah, I know.
Well, listen, we were all. I was a altar boy. I just don't religion like the
Joe. I'm the
Catholic
one.
Yeah, we're not gonna, you touch that one after the podcast,
There you
Kevin.
go. But okay,
Listen,
so now, Joe,
I always thought about this.
I'm not gonna go down that road.
I came out of all of it with a flawless victory.
Flawless.
Untouched,
Do it.
clean.
Oh yeah, me too.
Golden.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't have any issues.
Except for that super repressed memory that Joe doesn't talk about ever.
I don't know what you're talking about. I may have missed like 1997 to 99, but I mean, whatever.
Oh god. Why are we making jokes about this?
This is so bad.
The millennium was not part of Joe's life.
I did. Like, there's like, I thought about it. I was like, okay, and especially because
Joe, are you trying to say that you're going to go to church more?
Finish your story.
No, I can tell you if you don't interrupt me.
Well, you're taking the long-winded road down this way.
I am. It's a bad habit. I apologize.
Go ahead, Joe.
So there was part of it that was like religious for me.
Okay.
Like I was like, okay, I really have been so far away from it. Like let's just pray a little more.
Okay.
Maybe if it's just meditative.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's that, and then there's definitely the diet side of it where I'm like, all right, you've been. I mean, you ate a lot during the Super Bowl.
You ate
definitely.
Joe, you ate half the goddamn food.
Dude, those
Man, you gotta
potato skins were so good.
They were. Oh, they were.
So
they get better with
good.
age. A couple days, maybe. Pat, you thinking about giving something?
Let's go pop. Yeah.
You give a pop.
I was drinking too much. I drink a lot of pop, but
I think this is a good thing. And I
wasn't drinking a lot of pop.
I think it just makes you think like, hey, what have I been doing that maybe is not.
I was drinking more than I wanted to drink.
That's why I was struggling last night.
Yeah.
Because I was like, all right, I'm only giving myself so much. I'm watching my macros. Like that's where I'm trying to go, and I'm trying to lose weight.
Yeah. And you're looking good, Joe.
I drank so much fucking tea last night. I gave myself a mini hangover.
Yeah,
what
just
felt like a
dehydrate
hangover
yourself.
because I was so dehydrated.
One thing I want to go about the Tiger Woods documentary.
Oh, we're going back.
How much past surgery that one woman had? Like her lips
yeah.
didn't move.
Oh, I know. I was telling Lauren. So the one thing that Lauren said is that she thought that it was too soon.
Botox up.
It was
yes,
too.
for sure.
It was too early. Tiger Woods has a lot. He can finish that chapter. Of his life.
For sure.
It was way too early, and I was like, you know what? You're 100% right.
But that's why. That's because he didn't give it the okay.
All right, boys.
That's why.
Yeah, no, 100%. This has been fun. I love it. I think we got a lot. We got a lot to discuss for next week. I think there's still some stuff we talked about this week that I'd like to bring up next week. But we got a little bit of an early birthday special dinner coming up, and our Uber is 3 minutes away, so we need to get the pregame going.
All right.
We're gonna pour this drink of liquor.
Let's go, boys. Chris, keep me out of here.
Did you say 3 minutes?
Yeah.
2 minutes
now.
Chris, give it away.
Bye.